What's left in the end? It seems that the veil between this dimension, world, plane of existence, is thinning as our science division postulated. They believe that you should be able to pierce the veil with a little bit of effort. A warp stone can be used in the creation of a waystone, a special device that allows for instantaneous travel across vast distances and even dimensions. To use it, you need to have some experience, and the waystone needs knowledge of other waystones. To break through to the next dimension, which the science division has called the end for some reason, you're going to need some specialist equipment. In particular, you need to take what you've learned so far, and build a cryogenic dimensional teleporter. The CDT needs to be charged up, but will only start charging when loaded with an appropriate key item, which we will get onto next. To enable the CDT to pierce the veil between this dimension and our target dimension, we will need to attune it using an energized end stone brick. Once you have that, use it on the CDT and you will see it hovering in place. Remember that keys, once applied to the CDT, are single use. A few small things to note about the end dimension. There might be some kind of guardian. The dragon gets regenerated by the crystal fires on top of the pillars, so you'll want to destroy those as soon as possible. You might need some bottles, you can use these to pick up dragon's breath. Don't look directly at the people there, they don't like it. Have fun. Once you have defeated the dragon, some things of note will happen. A dragon's egg and some portals will appear. Stepping into the center portal will teleport you back home. Going through the additional gateway will take you somewhere else, where you can start exploration of this fascinating dimension. Take an ender pearl and throw it through the shimmering field. Hopefully it will hit some land on the other side and you'll be teleported somewhere else to begin your real exploration of this dimension. The chorus plant grows in the end-on-end stone. If you break the stem, chorus fruit will be dropped. Getting a chorus flower is not hard, just make sure you get the flower before breaking the stem. Popped chorus fruit is obtained by smelting chorus fruit. The poise forest is a biome in the end full of interesting plant and animal life. You will notice it on your map by the pinkish-purple blobs that show the poise trees, and when you get close, it looks like a collection of massive psychedelic mushrooms sprouting out of the ground. To pick up poise bush, and the taller variant, you will need shears, and it only grows on poise moss or humus. Bone meal poise moss to create poise bushes. Bone meal a poise bush to get a tall poise bush. Bowloom fruit can be found floating above open bowloom buds, attached by vine-like tendrils. You can harvest bowloom fruit by punching them. You can get bowloom buds by picking them up, or feeding a bowloom fruit to a puff bug that has recently pollinated a bud. Poise clusters are like the leaves for the poise tree, but they have the unique property of levitating on punch. Punch them twice to pick them up, or use shears. Buffalo are those toad-like creatures hopping around amongst the poise trees, eating poise fruit and munching on puff bugs. Their hide is used for creating buff blocks and a buffalo vest, but they're not a trivial opponent, so be careful. You can get puff bug hives by picking them up with silk touch, though this will make puff bugs around aggressive, or feeding a tall poise bush to a puff bug that has recently pollinated a bud. So now you have a hive, know how to get more bowloom buds and puff bugs, but how do you get the first puff bug moved over to where you want to set up your farm? Simple, use a bottle to capture a puff bug and take it with you. 4 pieces of buffalo hide can be combined into a buff block. The buff block is a fascinating thing. When placed down, it rebounds things that get too close, including you, mobs, and projectiles. The trunks of those poise trees are made from poise stem, which is essentially just another type of wood. Glowing poise stem can occur naturally, or can be made from poise stem and a poise cluster. Poise stem can be turned into poise planks, just like making planks from other kinds of wood. With some purple wood, comes a purple boat. With some string and a bowloom fruit, you can make a bowloom balloon. Place down a boat, and then attach 4 bowloom balloons to it and jump in. Scattered throughout this dimension you will come across floating islands. The trees on them have green trunks and purple leaves, and they often contain squishy occupants who don't appreciate being disturbed. Killing an ender slime has a high chance of dropping ender slime balls. Grab yourself some ender slimy dirt while up on the floating island. You should also cut down a tree. Hopefully you'll get a sapling from the leaves too. The Buffalo vest is made from a buff block and more buffalo hide. When worn, it can be used to double jump. Humus is the rocky soil-like substance found in the poise forest. You can make a humus furnace from 8 humus blocks. You can smelt humus to get a humus brick. For brick can be combined into humus bricks. Finding an end city can be a daunting and time-consuming task, and even if you do find one, it might be a small one or one without an end ship nearby. It's up to you whether you want to try and raid the smaller ones. There's usually fairly decent loot in them, but if it's an elytra you're really after, you might want to keep looking until you do find one with a ship. End cities are guarded by shulkers. Defeating a shulker will sometimes cause them to drop a shulker shell. Combine 2 with a chest to get a shulker box. You will probably come across some useless broken portals, end shipwrecks, and even things like outposts, temples, and more. End ships usually have a dragon head decorating their prow. The elytra can be equipped instead of a chest plate and essentially gives you wings you can use to glide around. Ender biotite has only a few uses, mostly decorative. The dimensional shard can be obtained by mining dimensional shard ore, which is fairly easy to spot in this dimension. Exploring nether regions. Now that you've managed to visit the end and have survived to tell the tale, you're going to need some of the materials you have gathered so far to explore the next dimension. This time, it's where the science division believes the mobs originate from. You will need a new key for the CDT to be able to access the next dimension. The science division gives their assurances that energizing some nether bricks will attune the CDT to allow for safe passage. One of our more geeky, dedicated scientists seems to think that the Nether Dimension might be a hellish plane of existence from what was previously only perceived as mythology. Apparently, at least as far as the stories go, there might be some denizens there who like gold, and dislike anyone not wearing something with a bit of bling. Then again, that's just what Ashrem says, so we'll leave you to make your own mind up on that one. Those big white floating mobs are pretty ghastly, and they keep spitting fireballs at you, which doesn't exactly make them any nicer. Why not see if you can hit back one of those fireballs and give it a taste of its own medicine? We believe that there could be large structures in this dimension called bastions, which should be largely built from a black stone. It seems that the Nether is not quite as boring and empty as you'd expect for somewhere that's supposed to be akin to the underworld. Take a little time to explore some more. Once you've done enough exploration by visiting all of the biomes in this dimension, in the name of science of course, then we will be able to provide you with a special token of our appreciation. If you're lucky enough, you should be able to find some large, fortress-like structures. Destroy a few blazes and gather up some blaze rods. Defeat some wither skeletons to get their necrotic bones and, with some luck, even their head. One of the key ingredients you will need from the Nether is a blaze lantern. You can find these in tall spires in lava oceans, and they are typically protected by their namesake. There appear to be some odd islands floating in the seas of lava. Please explore some so we can determine whether there's anything useful on them. The stem of the large bloodshroom plant is essentially like blood-stained wood with a lovely vibrant red in color. Just because it looks like a mushroom doesn't mean you should eat it. Go get some bloodshrooms. Take a sample of the dirt that makes up the island. It might prove useful in terms of a soil in botany pots. What looks like, at first glance, some dirty water, actually appears to be liquid magma cream. Alternatively, you can make one from blaze rods, blaze powder, and the Nether variant of dimensional shard ore. To get your hands on a Nether star, you'll need to defeat the Wither. To get hold of a blaze lantern, you will need to visit the Nether first. See how in the chapter, Exploring Nether Regions. Okay, these are most definitely top tier now. Luckily you get 16 nitro crystals at a time from a Nether star, 2 redstone blocks and a block of blazing crystal. Oh, and 20 million FE. Nitro capacitors are required for all nitro tier machines. Make one with 4 nitro crystals, for dielectric paste, and a large capacitor. The nitro version of the rods delivers 3000 FE per tick. It's 2.5 times faster than the spirited version.